Getting some new solar panels installed on our big factory ship, or at least our manufacturing hub that we have, still called the UMC Astral Temptress for now. I think this will be the last one I record before I get the names of this stuff in from you guys. So end of the last video, we started to get with factory stuff. And, you know, I don't exactly know what all the formulas are and what all of the things we're going to need to build are. So I've got things spaced out a little bit here. And here's how I'm playing this, right? We have essentially the metals going through here with space to expand it. We have the copper stuff that's going to come through here with space to expand it. And then we also have the tellurium ore. I've also brought the ship back to the shipyard just to add this extra scaffolding. So there's extra space for more solar panels as we produce them. So as we make more panels, we'll be able to do that. Now, I thought I would go ahead really quickly and design panel production with you so that we can move on to the next steps. And then the majority of today's video is actually going to be in the Procyon Cruiser. And we're going to go off and maybe deal with some of these things, and we're also going to want to turn in the rest of the parts for the Stargate project. We are currently on phase 2 and we are nearly completed. In fact, all I really have to do is go to a shipyard at this point and turn it in, because I'm pretty sure the Procyon Cruiser has, yeah, we've got a bunch of Stargate frames just kind of hanging out here, as well as a full crate right here. So I have enough Stargate frames now to complete this task easily. So we actually have this production chain shut down for now, and I want to replace it with something else, right? So what I'd like to do is take a look at how to make solar panels and get that set up. So solar panels consist of frames, precious metals, and copper ingots, all put into an assembly table, and then you produce a solar panel with that. So if I wanted to create solar panels, I have precious metals over here, kind of in the middle of this area, and then what I'm thinking of doing, because they're over here, and ideally you'd want everything together, I was considering moving the precious metal production into this gap. Instead of leaving this open for more metallic stuff, I would just do it here, because the majority of the things we produce, I think anyway, that involve the metallic ore or metallic metal ingots and stuff, it pretty much results in frames being kicked out. Frames, and then they're used for motors and stuff as well. We also have these two robotic arms right here that are both feeding into these two fabricators, but nothing's pulling anything out of this storage. So this storage is reserved for a different production chain, is essentially how that's working. So each one of these are going to feed a different production chain, is how I'm kind of thinking about it here. And then for the tellurium crystals, I'm just kind of sitting here. I don't exactly know what goes into, or like what these are as an ingredient, but I figured I might as well process them. If nothing else, I can, you know, sell them or something here and make a bunch of money that way. We have a whole bunch of tracks that have been produced as well. And then the track production has now been shut down. So I have a lot of extra tracks that I can build, about 53 now. So there's a load of stuff here we can use, right? I've got small storage crates, extra smart arms, extra short arms, lots and lots of stuff here, 6 assembly tables, etc. And I thought I would go forward here just at the beginning of this video and kind of set up a production chain for a couple of different things. And I'm hoping what's going to happen here is that once I turn this in, they're going to give me, you know, the next requirements, and then that next requirement will require me to go and set up production chains for whatever those items are. Because these are longer arms and there's spaces between them, the little white dot that we're going to be receiving this from, I don't know if we can just clip through. I feel like we shouldn't be able to, but it's kind of looking like we can. So what I could do here, as one example, why don't we try this? We can say the arm goes here instead. Okay, I just want to see how this works. Okay, then instead of this arm being here, let's dismantle this. Instead of this arm being here, we take one of these tracks, and we can do something like this. And we use extra tracks this way, but maybe I have this stop like here. You know, we don't want to do it this way because then it ends up on this track. So we can stop it here. Okay. And then we take, yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to avoid happening. I don't want that to happen. I'm trying to have them dismantle this, please. There we go. So we'll do this instead. We'll take the install on this. We can do the short robot arm. Something like this, for example, right? Something we don't need to program. And then I think what will happen here, we'll just have to come back here. I don't actually think I need the smart arm. Now, come to find out, if I'm doing it this way, I don't need the smart arm even. I could just do the regular robot arm, which are things I can make myself now. So it makes it a little easier. We could do this regular arm like this. Okay. I think this will work okay. They take a bit to install, don't they? Just a bit more time as soon as the track's in. Okay, so what we should see here, I'm hoping, is that the boxes will make their way through here on these tracks. There's the precious metals, right? And then this arm here will grab it from this spot and bring it all the way over top of it. Yeah, that'll work. And so now we get a supply of precious metals off this way, right? So there's our precious metals. There's frames and copper ingots. Well, the frames are here. I don't know if they're going to stay here, but for now they're here. And I think I kind of want to have a bigger storage for these. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do it this way. We're going to take this arm away. And we're going to uninstall these things, right? We're going to put a bigger storage here for the frames so that we have a bigger supply of them. But now I have access to the copper being right here. And perhaps even this track should go up next to the copper. But for now, it's what I'm thinking is these will merge on with something else. So like these tracks, for example, would come out, let's say, this way. And then we would maybe come up from there, that direction, right? So whatever we're going to end up producing with the copper would end up going right here. Okay, so I got the large storage right here for the frames. I'm skipping you guys ahead a little bit through the, you know, the indecisiveness of stuff because I got to formulate a plan for the future. And it's a little hard to do that when you don't exactly know what the future is. But that's why we're leaving big spaces so we can modify things in a modular way, right? So what I'm thinking of doing, going on that modular note, is I know that frames are going to be an ingredient in a lot of things, probably to the point where I need to have more production in this spot. What will likely happen here then is that this track will end up going this direction instead, around and then cutting up. Because these arms leave a gap here, it means I can run a track through them like we're doing over here. So I'm going to take this metal ingot side here too, and I'm leaving a space in this area so that a track can run right through here, okay? That's going to allow me to offload things from this onto a track and have metal ingots go a separate direction than the frames. That's the idea anyway. So this arm, what this arm is going to do is pull it out of this storage crate, and it's going to lift it up and bring it over top of this. Although I'm starting to think maybe, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking maybe this track could be even closer. I know I'm always going too close, but not leaving enough space. But I think I can probably, if I modify this, I wonder if you'll let me do this. Will you let me do this? If I go that way, like this, can I go robot arm in this spot here and have it work and put it exactly where I want it? Because if that's the case, then I would be able to have my track come right from this side here instead. So I can do something like this instead. So let me see what this goes. So the frames, because they're going to be used in a lot of different productions, I want them to kind of go, you know, around. I want them to have some distance. Okay. And it's looking to me like I need to make even more tracks because I'm out now. I have a lot of frames, but I'm out of tracks, I think. So I'm going to have to make more tracks. I should probably just have a persistent workflow there on that. Just a persistent tracks always being made sort of thing. So why don't we do that temporarily? I've got a lot of assembly tables. So I think for a little while here anyway, we're going to take and make tracks 1 and I guess we'll go this way with it. Yeah, let's go this way with it. We'll go 1 and 2. And this is just going to be where I make tracks for like a long time. We'll do something like this. I don't know if that's going to be on the right one. I think it is though. We're going to do this. And these two are going to make tracks for me for a little while. while I'm setting up other things. Okay, so let's just see how this works. In theory, I believe this arm is going to take it out of this and put it on that track. Yes, that's the one. Okay, it's all the way over there. That's the one. So we'll make tracks here, and then the frames are going to work their way around to additional production somewhere. So in this case, I want assembly tables to make solar panels. They don't have to be very many of them, but I want solar panels made. And so we're going to have it be, I don't exactly know where this is going to be. Let's put this, I don't know. It's modular, right? We can move it later. Yeah. So I'll just put it like, say, here for now. Okay. And then cables will go like that for now. So we'll have these assembly tables set up this way. I want you to make tracks, please. And then you are ready to go as soon as they do the other assembly table, which is not pending anymore. I must have clicked. I must have done a bad click. Bad click. Cables. This way. So we'll have more tracks being made, and then we'll just go ahead and put a large storage crate for now. A large storage crate can just fit right here, and we'll have them put all the tracks right here. So when they're done making the tracks, they'll just put them right here. There we go. And this will let me have, you know, a big old factory going on. So tracks, right there. Cool. And then these guys can walk over top the tracks. That's great too. Sounds good. Okay, so for now, we've got precious metals coming out of the storage, and then they'll lead to here. Then the frames are going to come around as well this way. And then this track is going to bring it right into where it needs to be made to make things like, you know, the solar panel, but also anything else that needs precious metals can be brought in from here. And then if we need more metal, which I suspect we will, we can set this exact thing up right here in this space right here. And then we'll have other metals that are up, you know, in this area. So for now, let's just leave this for a second. Let it go about doing its thing. For the solar panels, we'll just set this there, and then the people can move over and, you know, move the materials over manually to make solar panels like that as we go. Because there's a lot more potential for that. And I would very much like them to not need the reactor, which I think we're at a point now where we're getting pretty close to needing or being able to do that. But of course, as I add more machines, I'll need more power as we go. So I will turn this stuff back on. And the lasers will go off and do things. In the meantime, Procyon Cruiser is going to undock. And we are going to go off and turn in all of the Stargate frames. And we need to do that in a place that, you know, you can sell things in any other place. So why don't we go over here into this nebula? We could also go where it says Stargate. We could also go there instead of going to the nebula. I do have 15k fuel, so that's fine. Let's just do that instead. So we'll go off to where the Stargate's actually being built. See if we can see what it looks like, because I don't think I've actually been here since we started building it. Oh, well, it's right there. You can see it in the distance over by the sun. There's this little thing right here, and it kind of mimics this shape. There we go. So I can sell all 75 now for that much. We'll see what they say about me doing that. Unload all of those, and it says phase 2 complete. So phase 3 they haven't told me what that is yet, so I'm gonna have to wait for them to get back to me on that. I was kind of hoping they'd do it. They really are delayed in calling me, you know. That's the thing, but that's definitely done over there now. And they have not told me what phase 3 is. So since they don't tell me what phase 3 is yet, why don't we go over and start up one of these other little missions? We can do that. So this is Black Hole Sun. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what the big deal with Black Hole Sun is. But we'll take a look. Somebody made the comment that they thought I was over-leveled for the mission, and it's probably true. Like, that first mission is, you know, you're supposed to do that before you have a factory, right? So I can kind of understand that. And so I need to do these, is basically what I'm saying, is I want to do part 1, part 2, whatever, of all these missions before I get super powered and just steamroll them. They should at least be more interesting if I'm lower level. That's very cool. That's very cool. Dr. Julian Martinez. Greetings, Captain. My name is Dr. Martinez, and I am reaching out to ask you for your help. For years now, my brother and I have been studying the high-energy particle emissions in orbits of the black hole you can see behind us. Its official designation is QZ247, the collapsed remnants of a star that lived a couple of billion years ago. An accident with our equipment has left my brother in dire need of a rescue, and I need your help. I accept. Thank you for offering your services, Captain. You asked, I answered, here I am. The Stargate project funded our research from the beginning. They buy all the data we can collect, and the closer we travel to the event horizon, the more data our sensors receive. Every mission, we'd push ourselves to go closer. The last time we pushed it too far. My brother Marcus took the sensor ship and flew closer than we've ever been before. Right to the edge. Closer than anyone else has ever been. I have lost all contact. And I've been down there for a long time now. Or he's been down there for a long time now. He's still showing on the sensors and his ship is still intact. The gravitational forces and time dilation will be extreme, but with your help, we're going to rescue him. There's only one way to get him without falling into the black hole ourselves. We're going to have to do an extremely short-range hyperspace hop. Using a modified FTL drive, you'll do one hyperspace hop towards the black hole, rescue my brother Marcus, and then turn around and hop right out. It will be dangerous, but it's the only way to avoid being dragged in ourselves. I need materials to synthesize the resources we need. You can help me with this while I work on calculations. I'll need hyperspace isotopes. You should be able to collect them easy enough, but you'll need to acquire a hyperspace scoop and a tank to store the isotopes in first. You know what I mean? I'm a little over, well, maybe just a tad bit ahead for these quests. All right, so I have all those. I did all the things. Yep, new objective. Cool. I did all these. Please bring those materials back to me and we can move to phase 2. Okay, did the things. However, I did not unload the isotopes in containers, so I need to get the containers. Now, luckily, well, I can't click it because Introversion is terrible at UI development, UI design. So that's just how that goes. It looks like you have the hyperspace scoop. You can use this to gather the hyperspace isotopes I need. You'll need to install the scoop facing forward in your ship. Yes, blah, 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 blah. I did all these things. Yes, you've collected them. I have, indeed. You'll need to pump them into containers so we can easily move between ships. Buy a loader, which I was just about to do. Okay, so I have a loader, okay? At least I thought I had a loader. Oh, I did it over here. Hang on. So I want to go ahead and dismantle this. I did a loader so I could load for the fuel. Like, you know, last video, I even put a little bit of text on the screen so you could see that. Yes, I do have a loader here. But that's a fuel loader, which is what I wanted to use to make fuel. But any other resource, you have this generic loader, which you can kind of designate what you want to load and unload. So these are where the hyperspace isotopes are. So it looks like he wants just the plain ones. So I'm going to go ahead and plop this right here. And we're going to say unload. And the container is just going to be generated automatically. And so what we need to do is basically just, yeah, pop it into there. And then we need a storage space to put them. So I'm going to take a storage space here and put hyperspace isotopes just like right here. And they should unload that. And as it fills up, they'll plop it right down here. And I need 12 of these. So I guess we're going to have the storage be just a little bit bigger. That should be good enough. So as they unload the isotopes from the tanks into these individual bottles, I guess, bottled hyperspace isotopes, we will then be able to deliver it to him like so. Stargate project still not telling me what the next phase is. So I can see what these are. We could start making like some of these, like motors and stuff. We're going to need a lot of these. We'll talk about that a little bit as we go into the factory build and sort of how it how the grand plan is, right? The grand plan is to generally get a track that starts back here. We deliver all of our stuff, our final products end up on a track that goes around like this. And then that track will ultimately end up merging with this one. And then all of our finalized goods come out into storages right here, which is near the doors and everything. And then anything that's a finalized product and also an intermediate product, we can then have it put on another track as well and taken over here to finalize into whatever that finalized product is. The point is, though, is that these more advanced things that we need to deliver out of the docking ports end up in storages nearby the docking ports, or at least somewhat closer to the docking ports is the hope. That's the grand plan, though. Not quite there yet. Still need to have more tracks made. Okay, hyperspace isotopes are all bottled up for you, buddy. You've gathered the materials I need. Bring them to me at QZ247 to complete the contract. Okay, cool. That's where we will go then. So we are there. I am already there. And I will just go ahead and do it. I'm sending a shuttle to you now, Captain. Get your crew to load the hyperspace isotopes for me. They'll do it automatically. There you go. And we are good to go. Thank you, Captain. I now have what I need to modify this FTL drive for the short-range hop. It's going to take me some time to prepare the calculations. Leave things to me and I'll call you when we're ready for the next phase. Okay, cool. So I don't know when that's going to be, but eventually he'll call me. That's 200 grand for that. Let's take a look at what Trouble with Tidlets is. Now, I think this one has been in the beta and the alpha testings and stuff. I guess is alpha, really, for a long time. And I know what Tidlets are. And they want me to jump a lot with Tidlets, and they just multiply like crazy. They get very numerous, the Tidlets. So we don't want to, I don't think I want to do that one just yet. I am going to go into a shipyard with this just so I can fill up my fuel. And these tanks here, they don't have a whole lot in them. If I take a look at my pipes, these don't have anything in them. So I do want to gather some more gas in the meantime. So we'll just go ahead and get rid of that one. Yep. And then maybe I have to jump before he'll call me. I don't know. We'll see. But now I should have these running. Yep, that's what I needed. Get that running so I have the fuel. All right. So you see what I mean? I'm a little bit ahead. I just advanced knowledge of the game before doing the story is what's ultimately causing those to be very trivial in nature, those tasks. Let's see what we've managed to make while I've been away. So we have 8 more solar panels to install. That's cool. So we'll pop that over there like that. That should be good. And then on the other side now, we can go ahead and get these installed like so. It looks like there's an extra one now, so we'll just pop that right here. Okay, all the cables need to be ran. Apparently forgot to do that again because I'm awesome. We'll just go ahead and do that. And then over here, didn't forget that one, at least not all the way. This one has to go all the way to the end though. Yep. There we go. And then I guess we're going to be running them down the right side on this side too. All right, there we go. So the crew will go ahead and install those. And then with those installed, let's see how well we do by not having the reactor. So if I turn that reactor off, does our ship stay powered even though the mining lasers are, you know, recharging and working? So all the mining lasers are doing things right now. At least almost all of them. This one's not firing. This one's not firing. Why are you not firing? Let's have you hit Tillium. Why not? There you go. So our ship is outputting 500 megawatts and it has intermittent demand upwards of 560, 570-ish. That intermittent demand, but that recharge, that lag between recharge and fire, it's allowing us to recharge that battery to 100%. 3,000 megajoules of stored stored energy is our maximum battery. So as long as I consistently see that thing hit 3,000, we're good. And so now we shouldn't be using any fuel at all on this ship. It looks like it is using a little bit though. 2881. What is causing fuel to be used? I wonder. Is it just like, is it passively using it because of the engines? Because I can fix that. Maybe it's the engines. Let's cut the engines and see if that impacts anything. You can also, I guess, cut the power to it as well if I could, you know, click it with Julian Martinez's message in the way. Captain, my modifications to the FTL driver are now complete. We're ready for phase 2 of my brother's rescue. Please come and see me and I'll explain what I need from you. Okay, I need to go back there. We're going to take really quick and just take the cables and reroute them because I need the thrust. I want the thrusters on, but we're going to reroute them away from the engine so the engine doesn't have any power. Yeah, we'll go about like that with it. This will be fine. So now the engine is not going to have any power or fuel, and I want to see if this is still draining. 2877. And if I go like this, yeah, 2877. So we don't have functioning engines, but we're also, the whole ship is operated entirely by solar power right now. And we don't have to ever refilling. We don't have to provide this ship with fuel, which is really, really great. And then we have a whole bunch of these tracks that are in storage now, so I can go ahead and make them really quick. So these are frames, and the frames are going to go, I think, probably up about this far, at least there. And then we're going to want to, redirect all these to the workflow as well. Whatever that workflow ends up being, which right now, I don't have the formula in the Stargate yet. I don't have it telling me yet. So I guess we're going to hold off on that for a little bit. Let's go ahead and have the Procyon cruiser, who's just been sitting here getting fuel, right? Getting our Metreon gas storage. It's a little bit light, but, we have extra fuel. That's great. And we want to go back over to QZ247 to rescue Mr. Martinez, to rescue his brother. So let's go. Black Hole Sun Part 2 begins now. It's such a cool background. Hey, is this your ship, Mr. Martinez? It does say Julian Martinez right there. That's his ship. Captain, thank you for coming. I wanted to see the inside. You're not going to let me. Gonna make me sick though. Jeez. I've completed work on the modified FTL drive using those radioactive isotopes you provided. With this FTL drive, you'll be capable of performing an extremely short-range FTL hop in close proximity to the black hole. You'll emerge directly on top of my twin brother's ship and perform the rescue. Okay. You'll need to make 2 jumps, 1 in and 1 out. I've checked and double-checked the calculations. I need your help to make 2 FTL charges that work with the modified FTL hop. Okay. Okay, I'll need quite a lot of Tilium crystals for the FTL charges. Tilium ore can be mined just about any asteroid belt, yada, yada, yada. We've got that. You'll need a smelter, blah, 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 blah. So it's like an introduction to mining and stuff too. Yep, I gotcha. I did all the things. All right, take the mining lasers and drones and blah, blah, blah. We did this. Once you mine this, we'll be good to go. Yep. Okay, so, and go. So I've got all the crystals. I can receive these things, I guess, but I'm not going to use them. But I have all the crystals you want, so I'll turn in the contract. It looks like you have enough Tilium crystals. Bring the crystals back to me to close the contract. That's what we're doing. Yep, send the shuttle over here, buddy. That's what I'm saying. I'm a little bit ahead. So all my Tilium crystals are here. And it's good that he's taking some, because I have full storage and no way to process any more ore, so that's fine. You can take them all. I actually have a lot sitting on the ground because the storage is full. Excellent work, Captain. I'll begin synthesizing the FTL charges immediately. It will take me some time. I know the Stargate projects have been in touch, and I know they want their data. I get that, but let's remember the priority is safely recovering my brother. Sometimes they take people for granted. I'll contact you when I'm ready to begin the rescue. Okay. Sounds good, man. Black Hole Sun Part 2 is completed, and they're going to give me another 300,000. We're going to have a new fusion, new fusion reactor pretty soon here. That'll be nice. Okay, so like this back part here is just a bunch of storage, and I haven't decided like if I want to have like a bunch of storage containers back here with different designations, or just have this big area. And for now, I've just got a big area because it's very flexible and they can kind of put things anywhere they want. But I do need more specific storage so that we don't have this giant mess in the center here. So we have all these hyperspace isotopes. Oh, they're still bottling it. Oh, all right, here, load. So we're gonna do loads here instead. Now they can unbottle them. Yeah, just get them back in the storage, please. Okay, so we wanna go with storages for my more bullets. So I want more bullet storage. I'm not sure what these are. You're a Gatling gun and a cannon. Okay, so let's get a little bit of bullet storage over here. This is fine. That's fine. And then cannon shells, I want those stored over here too. And then railgun slugs. I don't know if there's any reason to put more railgun slugs over here, but let's do that. just so they have specific places. And then over here on this side, we have some additional stuff too. You can see cannon shells are being stored here. Bullets are being stored here. I don't really know if there's a maximum number of guns I'm going to have at any given time here. This is the cannon, and we have bullets there, but we need to have cannon shells as well. We're making lots of stuff like that. So let's put the cannon shells like right here so I can see them. And then over here, we've got a Gatling gun, a cannon, and a cannon. So I have storages here for cannon shells, but why don't we just go ahead and extend that and make it even bigger? Just giving them a reason to put that ammunition and stuff somewhere else. Okay. 100% atmosphere, 99% oxygen, whatever. And then I also now have just slightly higher, by the way, just slightly higher habitation I've gone in and done. I don't think I can paint without being... I might be able to paint. Can I paint without being in a shipyard? Hull, right? Yeah, I want to be able to paint this part. Or is that not it? Is that not it? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to let me paint without being in a shipyard. Well, that's fine. Unless I can... Oh, okay, I have to be specifically on habitation. That makes sense. Okay. There we go. So just a little bit more that way. You know, just getting the blue accents on that. But I have 134 cabin space in this ship now. Okay, so a little bit extra here. It's just so many bullets right now, and I'm looting them from my my competition, I guess. I'm looting them from the baddies that I engage with, that I fight with. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So metallic minerals are bypassing and getting on the belt. That's because all of this stuff is full, I assume. Yeah, these are full now, so I need to produce faster. These are making tracks though, and then the track is full. So I think I do need to focus on this because I need them to process the metal. I will be right back. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to have 2 fabricators making motors and 2 fabricators making the here, I'll show you. I want 2 fabricators making motors. That's metal ingots and copper ingots making motors, and then also energy coils. Again, metal ingots and copper goes into energy coils. For the lenses, we're going to have the same fabrication thing, but we're going to be using the precious metals instead on that workflow. Okay. And then for the solar panels, I've decided I'm going to leave those as a manual process because we're not going to be making them consistently. We're only going to be making them to the point where we're expanding power. So this whole thing here, I loved it. It really did. And maybe there will be a use for it in the future, but at the moment, it's not necessary. So I'm just going to have this and get rid of it. But I did need to angle it up a little bit to get underneath these arms just for a little bit. But we're not going to bother with it anymore. We're just going to take these tracks away. We don't need that. But there is room for more tracks to move underneath them and stuff, and that's fine. So let's go ahead and get these things hooked to power. All the fabricators are on a power line as well. And then here's what I want to do. We're going to go in and install the robot arms, and they are going to pull the copper ingots out of here and bring them and pop them onto this track. They're going to send them down this track. The metal is going to come out of this storage right here is where this is going to come out of. So we're going to have another couple of robot arms moving that stuff in, and I'm trying to figure out where I had this. So it's right there. So we're going to have you. It's going to be here and here, I believe. And then I want a track that comes down like so. All right, so there's a little, it's a little weird. All right, it's going to look a little weird, but I think in the end you'll like how this turns out, I think. Although I don't like how these arms are, there it is, okay. I was gonna say, I don't like how these arms are facing like that. So this track right here, I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and dismantle it because it's not needed anymore. I want this to stop here. Okay, so let's let the time go a little bit so you can see how this works itself out. Everybody's installing things. Should look pretty good. Okay, so what we're gonna have here, let's make sure everything is connected to power. All the power. Okay, what we have here, as you can see, is a situation where metal is dropped off onto this track really quick, and then these arms are gonna pick it up off that track and move it over here. Is that the most efficient workflow? No, not yet, it isn't. And actually, in actual fact, this is now redundant because I don't have this track going underneath here anymore. I had it I had it going underneath here and crossing, and that's why I did this, but now I don't need to do that anymore, right? So let's just not do that silly thing because it's no longer necessary. I'm just realizing this as we look at it, right? Because there was an original plan, and now that plan is not necessary. So we will change this plan, and now the track will just go straight up to it, right? So we can have this come straight up like that. Let's dismantle this track. There we go. And now it'll be a lot cleaner as the track will simply go like this. Like that instead. Okay. So let's just see how that turns out. There we go. And the tracks get built. Presto. Okay, so now we end up with some copper ingots on this line and metal ingots on this line. Okay? Pretty straightforward. And then all the frames and stuff will get pulled, and we're going to make things with frames when it becomes a thing, but we're no longer doing that with the solar panels because I just don't care to have that be like that. So we're going to disassemble the solar panel machine for now, and we'll move it around. Now, these are fabricators, and the fabricators are going to make motors. We're going to have 2 of them making motors and 2 of them making energy coils. All right, so we can produce motors and energy coils. On the other side of this, we have, I think we're going to have 2 tracks. No, this is an output track, so we don't need 2 tracks. This is just output. So all we're going to do here is have a short arm for each one of these machines. I guess it'll be for each one. Yeah. Fine. That's a lot of short arms, but I have 13 of them, so I suppose that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to bring them in. Now, on this side, we need 2 inputs. We have copper and metal inputs. So I will have this arm on this side is going to be taking the copper off of the track, and it's not necessarily going to be robbed, but like this one will be consistently busy, and this one maybe won't be consistently busy. Probably if I want this to be balanced, what I should do is alternate these. So let's do an energy coil there and an energy coil on the middle. So the middle 2 are energy coils, and the outside 2 are going to be motors. That way there's a bit more balance in the force here. Otherwise I'm going to have a lot of motors and not necessarily a lot of these, because the stuff's going to get pulled off the belt on this side. But while it's producing, the claw isn't going to bring it over. So that's fine. Then on the other track, how we get in the other track? Well, that's the other arms, right? The other arms, they reach really far, right? So they're going to go 1 track over. So they'll be like that. Okay, so we'll go like that, and we'll go ahead and install our cables. Yep, like that. There's all the power. It's hooked up now, and all these things should get to work pretty quickly here, and we should start seeing everything be brought over. There it is. So now we have motors and energy coils being produced by these fabricators, and they are going to be on this long track that goes all the way around the factory. It'll eventually get here, which will kick it that way, and then it will be merged onto this track. And look at all the extra copper ingots, because I'm not using any of them, right? All the trillium. Oh my gosh. What in the... I really want better storage zones in this game, man. Let me omit certain things. Just let me omit certain things. The ideal efficiency for this, in my head anyway, is when the storage gets full, they stop making it. But that's not the case. When the storage gets full, they just put it on the floor. That's how they're doing it. It's just the way it is. Unless I have no storage zones, right? That's the way to get around it. You just have no resource storage zones, and you can do storage as equipment instead. You can say any equipment instead of any cargo, and in that case, they will only store equipment, and they won't store, all the other stuff, and then they would, at least at that point, I think they would stop. Anyway, we are now producing motors and energy coils all the way around here, and when they get to here, this is when we change things up. So on this side, we're going to have let's say energy coils are here and here. Energy coils, yep. And then this side will be the motors. So we're going to put motors right here and right here. Okay, and then you are going to pull in motors. These are the smart ones, right? Pull in motors. Nope, you're the energy coil. Energy coil here. Energy coil and energy coil. And do I not have another smart arm? Is that why there's only 3? Yeah, that's why there's only 3. I don't have another smart arm. So for the time being, motors are just going to stack in here. But now we have a deliverable resource. If we need to pull them into the door, we can do that. Or we have a space here where we can modify that and use the motors as an input and make something in addition to those things. As long as, things storage isn't just crazy, stupid, so much storage. Get out of the way. All this stuff is going to end up over here now. They're just going to store all this cargo, all this crazy, hey, you have too much stuff. It's just going to go in a big area over here. And then all the equipment, I want that to be like right over here. So you guys can take all these boxes and put them here instead. So people have things to do, okay? But for the time being, this is our setup. And this allows me to add to my metal ingot production right here. And it will just end up on that line. So all metal ingots will go this way and just end up on that line. So now we have these fabricators are doing their thing. And if I want to add more, I just put them in this row, add more arms, the tracks keep moving, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so that's where we're at right now in terms of our factory. Okay, so Black Hole Sun, are we ready to proceed with this? Phase 3 still not talking to me. Julian Martinez is there, and I'm not seeing. Did he not need to take time to prepare? Leave me be and I'll call you when we're ready. I guess I have to jump. Maybe I just have to jump to get him to call me. So we'll try that. So I jumped once. I let time go by a little bit. Switch back and look at this place. Yeah, still cruising. It's like we got a frame has made its way over here somehow. Not sure how that happened. We could also put frames over here, I guess, because it could be a finalized product. But I have a feeling frame is never going to be a deliverable product. It was only for the Stargate frames. I think these frames are going to end up, being something that is an input for something else. But we don't need the frames on the track. And I've got them. I've got the whole mining operation and everything just stopped right now, so I can clear out a lot of this stuff because I'm making too much stuff. So there we go. But these are getting pulled off of this track as we bring it through. All right, I'm going to bring you guys back when he calls me. All right, there he is. It's time, Captain. I have everything prepared. With your help, I can finally rescue my brother. Travel back to the Black Hole Galaxy. Here we go. Black Hole Sun. And there we go. So Black Hole Sun Part 3. I don't imagine it will be too difficult, considering how far ahead I am on this, but it's fine. Let's go. Everything is ready, Captain. I've produced the hyperspace modulators, and the FTL fuel is already loaded. You'll be performing the rescue using my ship, using my modified FTL drive that is already installed on board. You can take control of my ship when you are ready to begin the rescue. Oh, good. I get your ship. It has been a long time coming, Captain. I've been working on this rescue for years. Time dilation effects from the black hole mean that only a few hours will have passed for my brother. It will be a surprise to him just how much time has passed when you bring him out. So that's that whole thing with, like, you remember the movie Interstellar, how that strong gravity, 1 hour down here is 7 years back on Earth. That's what he's talking about here. Let's run over the plan one more time. You're going to perform an incredibly short-range hyperspace hop. You'll emerge directly on top of my brother's ship, dock with his ship, rescue him, and then get him out of there. That is the thing. So now I take control of his ship, I think. Once you take control of my ship, you'll find the location of Marcus's ship programmed into your sector map. You'll be jumping directly towards the black hole. You should expect turbulence. You won't have long. Be as quick as you can and jump out of there when you're done. Good luck, Captain. I'll see you on the other side. All right, control Julian's ship. There we go. So we have his ship. So this is his modified FTL drive. And he's got a bunch of thrusters, a medium tank that is empty. I'm assuming he's got that wired for hyperspace isotopes. He does indeed. Going around that side there like that. Okay. And we got a reactor with some fuel tanks in the back. I see. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Just want to make sure I know my ship, okay? So the sector map, we have his brother's location. Should be programmed into there is what he said. So I'm not seeing a new location. I'm just going to say that's trouble with Tidlet, so that's not it. Maybe I have to let time go by a little bit. Oh, indeed. The Andromeda Project LLC. Greetings, Captain. Good luck with the rescue. Remember, the data on board Marcus's ship is extremely valuable to us. You'll need Marcus to transmit the data from his console before you can complete the rescue. Losing that data will set the Stargate project back years. All right, so I need to recover the Stargate data. So we're going to jump to the stricken ship. Which, I mean, we're already there. Well, it's a short-range jump, right? That's what it is. So we're not actually going to another sector. That was the whole idea. Okay, here we go. He's out of power. Just saying, he's completely out of power. We are apparently very close. Hey! There he is, Marcus Martinez. I was beginning to think you wouldn't be coming. I've been down here for hours. Dock your ship with mine, Captain, and tell me when you're ready for me to come aboard. Please hurry. That's what I'm going to do. Request data. Ooh, should I do that? Probably should. The Stargate data? I can send that, Captain, but you'll have to give me a few minutes to access the data and set up transmission. Oh, it's going to cost us minutes, is it? Or is it going to cost us months? Indeed. Well, we're going to go ahead and dock to the back of his ship. Here we go. Julian Martinez's ship is very agile. I like that. All right, cool. So we're going to get the data. There we go. And we are docked. Now we can click rescue Marcus, but then we won't recover the data. So we're going to sit here for a second, I guess. And I don't know if we're going to lose a lot of time doing that. Marcus is calling. My ship is falling apart from the gravitational forces, Captain. I've sent the data that I can. Please hurry and get me off the ship. 30%. Request more data. Damn it, Captain. I don't have time for that. I don't know how much longer the ship's going to survive like this. I'll do my best, but you better be ready. I'm docked. I am docked. I don't know how much data he's going to be able to get in time. I'm thinking like half. I'm thinking 50% and we're good. 50% and I'll rescue him. I don't know how much longer he actually has, so I'm just going to do this at 50%. There. Done. Rescue Marcus. All right. You got half the data. That's good enough for me. On board, Captain. Get us out of here. Okay, undocking. And it blew up. I don't know whether it would have blown up if I got him off or not, but it blew up. So... cool. We will get out of here. Right here. There's the node. Yep, go ahead and prepare the jump. And he blew up. And, ooh. That's an interesting phenomenon being this close. Look at all the turbulence. See this? See how turbulent it is? It's like my ship is falling apart. Freaking love it. Oh, boy. Prepare the jump and go. And go. And we are getting away from the black hole. All right, we got 51% of the data. I'm fine with that. Marcus, thank God. What took you so long? I was down there for hours. Wait, how long has it been? You were so close to the event horizon, the temporal distortion was huge. I've been working on your rescue for a long time, Marcus. How long? You've been down there for 10 years. It was really close. I can't believe the risk the captain made you take for that data. You could easily have been killed. Captain, I spent the best part of a decade planning this rescue. I don't appreciate you risking it all at the crucial moment. I don't think you'd take that kind of risk with his life. I didn't. 50%, all right? I got him out. Thank you for your efforts. The contract is closed. Oh, man. Whatever. I recovered 50% of it, I think. Now, it set the Stargate project back 6 months, right? Or maybe a single year. I don't know. I got paid money, and I guess that's all that matters now. Okay, cool. Well, Black Hole Sun appears to be done, but Andromeda Project may not be happy with the fact that I only got 50%. Well done on retrieving some of the data, Captain. We would have preferred all of it, but we appreciate the rescue was under extreme duress. That's good. Our payment has been scaled accordingly with the volume of data received. Okay. I mean, the money is... I'm not going to say it's useless to me, but I have such a factory set up now that I can pretty much have as much money as I want whenever I want at this point, so it's fine. Okay, so are they going to tell me what the next stages are for the Stargate project or not? Still no yet, but I have a feeling the Andromeda project will probably call me. You know, they'll probably tell me what they want in due time, maybe even after a single jump. But at 1.6 million, I can build another ship if I'd like to. I'm thinking about, you know, I already have the mining vessel and the manufacturing vessel, things like that. What about getting myself a fuel barge? Even though I don't really need it, I could get myself a fuel barge and have this whole thing here just sort of like a new ship sitting in the nebula over here and just constantly getting tons and tons of fuel, building it up and bottling it up for me. I could do that, and then I could transfer all of this out, and maybe even I probably can't transfer this. I need the deuterium for my reactors, but one thing I can do, because I have the space now, is I can buy another reactor with that $1 million. And now I have, you know, 2 reactors in here, and from what I gathered in my life, I can tell you straight up, 2 reactors is better than 1. I know, just a shocker. But now we can have 2 reactors, and the power from one will simply power the rest. It's already on the deuterium line, so it's just going to start activating. And with that, I no longer need these. So I can make more life support, and with more life support capacity will come more passenger capacity. And if I need, you know, to do a lot of stuff with, you know, bringing people around places and stuff, I'll be able to do that. I think these courier missions, look at these. Basically, these 2 are going to 11. This one's going to 12. This one's going to 4. This one's going to 10. There's a lot. So I could have, you know, maybe some more storage bins here in the center and then just call this mission cargo. I could. I don't know. This is going around and around. Look at all these drones. Why are all the drones going around and around? Can you not put logistics drone? How many drones do I have? Holy shit. I have too many drones. All right, we need another. I mean, I don't really need this many drones. I should probably just sell some. Why don't I just... I should do that. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I see AGE Foundry, which is weird. Am I in this system? Oh, I am. There's Procyon cruisers right there. Tell you what I can do. I'm going to bring the cruiser over. I'm going to grab a bunch of drones, and I'm going to sell them because I have too many drones. So that's what I'm going to do. In the meantime, you guys can have a wonderful rest of your day. And when we come back, hopefully the Stargate project can be continued, because that is the goal, is to build the Stargate. I need to know what phase 3 is so that I know what to make. And I've got a lot of space here to outfit this factory for the production of the stuff that the Stargate requires. Okay? Take it easy. Love your faces. Thanks for watching. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.